Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to listen to the young leaders. Every time I spend some time with you guys, I feel reinvigorated. I feel we're gonna be in good hands, and that's relevant. That's important. When we face the challenge of sharing with you all, the ones who have been around for quite a long time, but also the newcomers, where do we come from and what our history, I would say brilliant history has been, that was a great challenge. So we decided to hire George Lucas for this. So please, go ahead. Most of you were in Paris, and you probably remember that we started our workshop in Paris about the essence and the future of the GBV with this painting. Most of you know the painting, but let me remind you that this is a painting by Salvador Dalí, the Catalan painter. That painting was the metaphor of the GBV. But obviously, the task we had assigned in Paris of, okay, let's see if we can make a plan and let's see if we can set up a new ambition for the GBV looking at 2020. It was a real tough task because the history has been brilliant. We have seen just a minute ago George Lucas showing this history and many, many things that we have been doing so far. The HR, we just also heard the LA folks. The scorecards, the fire, banking and values day, many, many things. Mainstream banks are claiming that they're sustainable. That's a growing thing. And we see it in many of them. In Spain, in Peru, sorry, that's Spanish, Banco de Crédito del Perú, claiming they are, wow, for the environment, or, BNP Paribas, or HSBC, or Barclays, or Citi. So, can we really fight against that? And Anna Maria Dalí was, oh God, that's tough. But that's not enough. We also have other threats. Yesterday we discussed about that, and we will keep on discussing about those things. We've got fintech that can be an opportunity, can be a threat. How are we going to deal with this? We've got the burden of regulatory pressure. That's, it's a real problem for all of us, but that's what it is. In most countries also, we have the great problem of very low interest rate, bringing us to very low margins. It's putting pressure on our P&L, and then there is inequality that is, affecting society, and it's also affecting the middle class, and it's also affecting everyone. So, God, But that's not enough. And Maria Deli was incredibly worried because we're pretty small. We're pretty small if we compare it with mainstream. You know, I'm not going to go through the figures. It's very clear. That's what it is. We know that. Just the net earnings of JP Morgan Chase are higher than the asset size of our bigger banks. If we look at the GABB aggregated asset size in 2015, and if we took this as one bank, we would be ranking approximately, depending on the ranks we use, 150, 160. We also discovered that what we do, what we mean, really plays a role. So it is about size. Yeah, it is. Believe me, it is about scale, but not only. So how can we leverage this, growing need of scale with what we do? And then Ana Maria Deli was invigorated because she understood that we are doing great things for society and for the people and for the planet. And she understood that we are, financing a clinic for the underserved in Washington, D.C. Thank you, City First Washington, for the picture. Or that we are financing dairy farms in Sweden. Anita is not here today, but thank you, Ecobank, for the picture. Or that we are financing culture and artisans in Bolivia. Thank you, Kurt and Vankesol, for the picture. Or that we are financing solar plants in Spain. Thank you, Triodos, for the picture. And finally, not least, we are empowering women in Uganda. So thank you, Centenary Bank, for that. And after this, it is more than 20 million co-worker, more than 30,000 co-worker, more than 20 million clients. The answer to the perplexity of Ana Maria Deli had always been in front of her. It was a blue ocean full of opportunities, in which we are banking and we're doing great things. All the different banks. But the good thing of it is that, and that was the clue, that was what Ana Maria Deli discovered, is that they're not isolated banks. They're not isolated people working here and there. They're a big family. They're a family of those who are banking for a better world. Thomas Rao was telling us yesterday that we are guests on this planet. That's why our logo is what it is. We've got the earth, and we've got a person embracing the earth. We're guests on this planet. It's not just our home. The first ambition is about really building a global brand. Really leveraging what we are doing locally with what we are doing globally. Because, our big thing is that we are doing so many great things locally that sometimes we forget that from a global perspective it makes a lot of sense. So it's not, the question is not whether we are either banking locally or globally. It's not whether we are banking locally and globally. The issue is that we are really banking global through local. And that's an incredible and powerful idea. We were actually listening yesterday to our three colleagues from Triodos showing us some innovative ideas. And somebody from the audience, I just forgot who, said something like, hey guys, that's terrific. Because it is things that already exist, but you really make it happen. You connect those things together, because innovation is about connection sometimes. Sometimes innovation is not about creating new things, but discovering the meaning of what we do and putting everything together, shape it together. That's what we would like to do in the future. Just building this new global brand, because in the example of Southern Bancorp, you're doing incredible, great things locally in Arkansas and Mississippi. But what you do means a lot to what we all do globally. And what we all do globally has to mean a lot to what each one of us is doing locally. So we need to really leverage those two things. We have been having the solution in front of us for quite a long time. So that's the first inspiration. And this is the back part of the business card of Darren Williams. In the front part, there is Southern Bancorp, building communities, changing lives. In the back of the business card of Darren Williams, thank you, Darren, there is a sentence and a logo that says, and let me read it for you, proud members of Global Alliance for Banking and Values. An image is quite worthwhile. This is our first ambition. Our second ambition is, I would say, intelligent and mission-focused growth. Because although it's not a matter of scale, it is a matter of impact. It is a matter of what we do. We need some more scale. We want to have a bigger presence in most other parts of the world. We need to reinforce our presence in Asia, in Africa, in some parts also of Europe and North America, also in some parts of Latin America. We do not only want to reinforce our presence with new full members banks who are fully committed to the 6 principles of sustainable banking, but we would also like to embrace those members who are in transition too. So we would like to not only embrace more full members, and we're glad to have around the audience today many different banks that we hope would like to join the Alliance in the coming weeks or months. And the third issue is that we need to leverage in others. So it's great to have more full members. It's great to also embrace those who are walking the journey to this transition, but we also need to leverage in other partners who amplify what we do, other networks. Academic institutions, we've got the incredible experience with Catherine, the MIT Collab, and the Processing Institute. This is terrific. What it has been done for the GABB. We need those partnerships. We need to leverage on others. Our third ambition is basically walking on and based on the 4 structural pillars of the GABB, and the structural pillars are actually 4. One is the member banks. So you are the ones who make this possible. You are the ones who bank. You are the ones who inspire the brand. This is sort of a reverse franchise. You know, in a franchise, there is a central concept and that's applied locally. But that's a very peculiar thing. This is a very good signal of innovation. The GABB has been innovative since the very beginning because some founders created the brand and created the movement. This is not a network. This is not a network. If anybody in the room feels that this is another network, that's not a good signal. We're a movement of financial entities and banks who want to change the world. You cannot do this through a network. That's what we also need, global branding. So you member banks are the key. You bank, you do the things in the local market, and you inspire the global brand. That's relevant. We've got the board. The board is steering the community, so we need this guidance, this steering that really help us walk this journey, this ambition. We have the secretariat, but I see the secretariat a little bit more like a facilitator, a convener. We need to, use this as just putting together everything that's done greatly, by the way, in many of the local banks and make this be meaningful. And obviously, the 4-1 will be the supporting partners who should help us amplify what we do.